What's going on, Faded Culture? It's Sergio Barron and we're back again with another tutorial. Today I'm gonna run y'all down my step-by-step process on doing a mid drop fade with the 7 guard on top. I will be using the cordless Babyliss FX clippers for this haircut, and I hope y'all enjoy it. Also, before I start, make sure y'all smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so y'all stay up to date with all the content that we drop weekly for y'all. So with that being said, let's jump right into this tutorial.
There you go. Take 100.
Alright guys, so to start this tutorial, like I said in the intro, we're going to run a number 7 guard with the lever closed all over the top. And I'm going to run this guard numerous times all over the top just to ensure we get the most even cut on top possible. Next, I'm going to just find where I'm going to set my first guideline, which is right here at the start of this temple peak area. And I'm going to make sure it slants as I reach the back and meet the opposite side of his head. Make sure this first guideline is set down as straight as possible, since the rest of our guidelines and the whole haircut overall is going to run based off of this first guideline. So take your time when setting down this one. And next I'm going to open the lever all the way to set down my second guideline, coming up about a finger in length up high. And like I said before, you're just going to want to make sure this second guideline runs parallel to the previous guideline. And again guys, the clippers I am using are the Babyliss FX cordless clippers. I will link them down in the description for y'all if y'all would like to check them out. Next, I'm going to throw on the 1 guard, still leaving that lever open to set down our third guideline. And as you see here, I'm only going to come up about another finger in length up high. Also ensuring that it runs parallel to the previous 2 guidelines that we set behind. Once that's done, I'm gonna throw on the number 2 guard, still with that lever open, and we're not so much gonna set in another guideline, but we're gonna start trying to blend in the side length to the top. So as you see here, I'm gonna emphasize a little more on the scoop out motion, just so that we don't cut too much off the top length of his head. So as where the head starts to round off, you're just gonna want to start pulling the clipper out a little bit. And next we're going to throw on the number 3 guard, still with that lever open, and we're going to continue the exact same process, coming up a tad bit higher just so we can finish connecting the side length to the top of his head. And really quick guys, thank y'all for all the love and support that we've been receiving from y'all. And also just feel free to let us know down in the comments what other tools or what other haircuts y'all like us to cover on this channel. And once we're pretty much done with this step, now we're left with our 3 guidelines you see here. We're going to start by blending out the uppermost guideline that you see right here. And for that, I'm going to come in with that 1.5 clip open to about 3/4. And I'm going to come in using more so the corners of the clipper and angling it in any sort of direction that I need to, just to blend out that top guideline as smooth as possible. Try not to get overwhelmed when taking out these guidelines, and also if you feel like you need to open or close the lever a little more here and there, feel free to do so, as that lever play is crucial when it comes to blending out these guidelines. So don't be scared if this lever open at 3/4, don't take it out completely. Every hair will differ, so if you feel you need to close it a little bit more, then like I said, yeah, just do that. For me, I feel like that lever open to that 3/4 position seems to always work for the most part, but there are some hair textures that may need to come in with the lever maybe closed halfway or even open all the way to take it out. And once we're done with that guideline blended out, we're gonna move forward to that middle guideline. For that, I'm gonna use the half clip, leaving that lever to that 3/4 position and doing the exact same thing with the corners of the clippers, trying to soften that guideline up as much as possible. It's important to note that it won't take it out completely with this guard, but as long as you take out most of it, the initial start of it, you'll be all right. We'll come back right now with the higher guard to finish taking it out completely. And also guys, really quick, if y'all do decide to go cordless like I did, I do recommend you have 2 cordless clippers at hand. While you're using one should be charging, and then just alternate between haircuts that way, since I do feel these cordless clippers work best at 100% charge. So next, moving forward to take out this middle guideline, I'm gonna throw on the 1 clip, leaving that lever to that 3/4 position, and we're gonna start finishing blending out that middle guideline completely. And also guys, for those who have been watching my videos and know that I've been using the Circle clippers a lot on this channel, these blades right here that the FX have are the exact same ones that I use on the Circle. And as far as the tension goes, as to how hard you're pressing the clipper on the skin, it's very, very minimal. We're letting the clipper do all the work for us. We're just basically just guiding it with our hands. And once we're done with this guideline, we're left with that last initial guideline. For this one, we'll use the lever closed, then open it halfway, and then all the way to take it out. It's a 3-step process, starting with the lever closed as you see here. And I'm gonna just take out as much as I can of the initial guideline. And then I'll come back, open the lever halfway, fade up a tad bit higher, and then open it all the way to continue blending out that guideline completely. And I'm gonna break down this last step into 3 sections of his head. So I'm gonna focus on just taking it out on this left side first before moving on to the back and the right side of his head. So as you see here, now I opened it halfway, and I just continued blending up a little higher. And next, I'm gonna just open the lever all the way and finish blending or tying in this last guideline together. And once you're done with this left side, we'll proceed with doing the exact same steps on the back side of his head. Again, starting with the lever closed, then I opened it halfway, continue blending a little higher, and then we'll open it all the way just to finish tying in that blend. And again guys, thank you to everyone that has purchased some of our apparel on our website at fadedculture.co. And for those who haven't checked it out, feel free to check it out. We have some windbreakers, t-shirts, and some hoodies up on the website. And again guys, we're gonna repeat the exact same steps on the right side to finish this this fade overall. So now moving forward to take out the bottom of the hair, you'll see that I come in with my trimmers upside down at first, as this leaves a balder guide line on the haircut. And then I'll quickly just flip the clipper right back to its upright position to blend out that little faint line that it left behind. And I'm gonna do this process all around the whole head before coming in and taking out the remainder bottom of the hair. You'll be able to see why I start with the clipper upside down here in a little bit. Like I said before, it's so that it leaves a broader guideline, so that right now when we come in and take out the remainder of the bottom hair, you'll see that it left behind a little faint line, and that's just gonna be our guide as to show us how high to come up with our electric shavers. So now that we're taking out that bottom hair, you can kind of see that little faint line I was talking about, and that's gonna be that faint line to guide us as to where to stop with our electric shavers. And when you're using that electric shaver, be sure you're using it as it is a pair of clippers. So as you reach that top of that faint line, make sure you're releasing pressure on the electric shaver and not digging in too much into the fade and creating any harsh lines. And that's pretty much it for the fade. Now I'm gonna move down and taper in the sideburn area of his beard. For that, I just came in with the clipper lever open, and then I quickly closed it to erase that first guideline that it left. And then I'm gonna just come in with the half clip open to that third quarter and continue blending down a little bit. And now for his lineup up front, I'm gonna spray a little bit of spritz. It's called Pump It Up Spritz, and I'm gonna blow dry it up or basically out of the way, and that's just gonna freeze the hair in place so that it helps when coming in with our trimmers and giving a sharper lineup. And as you see here, I start with my lineup down the middle of his forehead, and then I'll guide myself to the left and the right side of his head in creating that 90-degree box on each corner of his head. Take your time and try to visualize this hairline in the hair before you actually set it in, so that you stay on track with keeping it as straight as possible. I'm also gonna go ahead and throw in a hard part on his head. So with the comb, I'll be brushing his hair out of the way, and then I'll come in and set in that hard line with the trimmers. It's a good idea to come in both ways with the clipper, just so we can get it as refined and detailed as possible. And next we're just gonna come in, comb down his beard, and finish lining up the bottom of his neck. I like to do all of my lineup work first with the trimmers, and then just leave the straight razor at the end. So now before we come in with the straight razor, I'll apply a little bit of shaving gel just to prevent any kind of skin irritation, and it just helps that blade glides with ease. So right here you'll see that I'm tugging with my opposite hand on the skin just to create tension on the skin, and it helps you shave a lot better when you're tugging on the opposite side. So for the most part, I'll shave away all the hair, most of the hair, and then I'll come back and refine all the edges. And when I'm lining up the top of his beard, I'll visualize where I want the line to be before coming in and setting it in. And once I've set in that line, then I'll quickly turn the blade upside down and shave against the grain just to get a closer shave to the skin. And also guys, a quick reminder, all these steps that I'm using, I leave them down in the description for y'all in written format, so it's easier for y'all to follow as well. And also along with all the tools and accessories that we use, we link them all down in the description for y'all, so feel free to check all that out. So moving forward with the forehead area, again I'll just shave away most of the hair, and then I'll come back and refine the edges, shaving against the grain just to get it as sharp as possible. And remember, once you're refining the edges, you're not focusing on pushing the hairline any further back. You're only refining what's already there, so it's up to you to stop that blade at that line that you already created with your trimmers. So once I'm done lining up everything, I'll come in with a little bit of enhancements. In my enhancements, I just have half Kiss Express. It's a semi-permanent dye, and I'll dilute it with a little bit of water, and then I'll use this portable air gun to spray it on. And once I'm done with that, I'll just come back one more time with my straight razor and refine everything to finish off this haircut. Now to finish this haircut completely, I like to add a little bit of pomade on top. I'll rub it on my hand just a little bit and just kind of dig it or work it into the haircut as much as possible, and then just find a desired look that your client is satisfied with. But that pretty much wraps up this haircut, guys. Here's the before footage of his haircut before he came in, and here's the after. I hope y'all guys enjoyed this tutorial on the mid skin fade with the hard part and a 7 on top using the FX Babyliss clippers. I hope y'all guys were able to learn something from this tutorial. If y'all did, please give us a thumbs up or leave us some feedback down in the comment section below. Again, guys, this is Faded Culture. My name is Sergio Barron, and I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.